I never planned on going to that charity gala. My coworker Mark dragged me there, telling me it would be good for my social life, which usually meant he wanted someone to stand next to while he flirted with strangers. The hall was filled with people dressed like royalty, chandeliers glowing overhead, violins playing softly. I felt completely out of place. "You need to loosen up," Mark said, nudging me with his elbow. "Dance, drink, do something." "Not really my scene," I muttered, adjusting my collar. But Mark grinned at someone behind me and suddenly shoved me forward. "Perfect. She's looking for a dance partner. Figure it out." Before I could protest, I collided gently with someone. Soft perfume, warm presence, a quiet gasp. I stepped back in embarrassment. "I'm so sorry," I said. She looked up at me with the kindest eyes I'd ever seen. Soft brown, gentle, almost shimmering under the lights. She wore a deep green dress that flowed delicately, and her hair was pinned back with simple elegance. "It's okay," she said softly. Are you here alone?" I nodded. My friend dragged me. She smiled, a shy, hesitant smile. "Me too. My cousin said dancing would be good for me." Before I could respond, her cousin suddenly appeared behind her and whispered loudly, "He'll dance with you. Go on." Then she gave her a playful push. I realized too late I had been tricked. And so had she. We stood there awkwardly until she looked down at the floor. "I should warn you," she said gently. "I'm not the easiest person to dance with." "Neither am I joked, trying to make her smile. She did smile, but then she stepped slightly back, lifted the hem of her dress, and revealed a sleek prosthetic leg. Her voice trembled. "If you want to back out, I understand." For a moment my chest tightened, not out of pity, but because of how vulnerable she looked, how scared she was of rejection, how much courage it must have taken to show me that. I took a breath, stepped closer, and held out my hand. "I'm not backing out, dance with me." She stared at my hand like it was something she didn't understand. Then slowly, she placed her hand in mine, light, hesitant, warm. When the music began, I placed my other hand gently on her waist. She flinched, surprised by the closeness, but didn't move away. "You don't have to be careful," she whispered. "I won't break." "I know," I said softly, "but I still want to be gentle." As we started moving, I felt her tense, worried, afraid of missteps. But after a minute, she relaxed. She let her head rest lightly against my chest, her hair brushing my chin. "You're doing great," I whispered. "No one has said that to me in a long time," she replied quietly. The way she said it, it hurt. Like she'd spent years trying to prove something to people who never looked past the surface. She guided herself with surprising grace, her movements soft and deliberate. Her balance was perfect, smooth, and with every step she trusted me more. "I used to dance a lot," she said after a while. "Before the accident, I thought I'd never dance again." "You're still dancing," I said gently, "beautifully." She lifted her head slightly, looking up at me with wide, glistening eyes. "You really think so?" "I know so." Her lower lip trembled and she blinked away quick tears. "Thank you," she whispered, "for not treating me like I'm fragile." "I don't think you're fragile," I said. "I think you're the strongest person in this room." She stopped moving for a moment, overwhelmed, and pressed her forehead lightly to my chest. "You have no idea how long it's been since someone made me feel normal." I slipped my fingers through hers, squeezing her hand. "You're more than normal, you're amazing." She exhaled shakily and moved a little closer, letting her arm wrap around me as we swayed slowly. The room blurred around us. It didn't matter who watched. It didn't matter who whispered. For that moment, it was just us. Her breath warm against my neck. Her hand in mine. Her heart beating fast. When the music ended, she didn't let go. "Can we stay like this a little longer?" she whispered. "We can stay as long as you want," I said. She tightened her hold on me, almost like she was afraid I'd disappear. "I've never been this happy before," she whispered, voice breaking with emotion she couldn't hide. "Not since everything happened." I rested my cheek against her hair. "Then let's make tonight a good memory, one that belongs to you." She pulled back just enough to look at me, her eyes full of gratitude, disbelief, and something deeper, something warm and fragile. "You're different," she said softly. "Most people don't even see me, but you look at me like I'm whole." "Because you are," I said. "I've never seen someone shine the way you do." Her breath caught. Her cheeks flushed. And she whispered, almost scared of her own voice, "Can we dance again?" I nodded, "As many times as you want." And I held her close again as the music began, her body fitting perfectly against mine, her smile returning, real this time, full of life. For the rest of the night, I didn't see anyone else. Just her. Just the girl who thought she couldn't dance, but moved like she was born to be held. And she stayed by my side until the lights dimmed and the hall emptied, her fingers never leaving mine, her smile never fading. Because sometimes, one dance is enough to change everything. When the lights finally came on and people began drifting toward the exit, she hesitated, still holding my hand. The warmth of her fingers lingered, soft and uncertain, like she wasn't ready for the night to end. I wasn't either. "Do you want some fresh air?" I asked gently. She nodded without speaking, her eyes lowering shyly. I guided her toward the doors, making sure she had steady footing, but she squeezed my hand lightly. "I can walk on my own," she whispered, "but I like that you're holding my hand." I didn't let go. Outside, the cool night breeze brushed against us. The city lights flickered across her hair, and she looked almost unreal, like someone pulled from a quiet dream and placed into my world for a moment. She took a slow breath. This was the first time since my accident that I didn't feel like everyone was staring at me. "I wasn't staring at your leg," I said softly. "I was staring at you." She laughed quietly, a soft, embarrassed sound. "You say that so easily." "Because it's true." She moved closer, her shoulder brushing mine. "People usually only see what I'm missing," she said. "You saw the rest." "I saw everything," I replied. "The way you smiled, the way you held my hand, the way you were brave enough to dance even though you were scared." She looked up slowly, her eyes wide and glossy. "I was scared," she admitted, "terrified, not of falling but of being rejected." "You didn't fall," I said, "and I didn't reject you." Her voice softened. "You caught me without even trying." A moment of silence settled between us, warm, fragile, stretching with unspoken emotion. "Do you need a ride home?" I asked. "Yes," she whispered, "but can we walk a little more first?" She stepped forward, and I naturally matched her pace, slow, steady, mindful of her rhythm. The soft clicking of her prosthetic leg against the pavement blended with the quiet city sounds. "What happened?" I asked gently, not wanting to pry but wanting to understand her. She inhaled deeply. "Car accident 2 years ago. Drunk driver hit us. I survived, my sister didn't." Her voice cracked on the last word, and I stopped walking immediately. "I'm so sorry," I said quietly. She nodded, wiping her cheek with the back of her hand. "Everyone told me I should feel lucky to be alive, but I didn't. I hated myself for walking while she never would again." "You didn't deserve that pain," I said softly. "No," she whispered, "but I lived with it alone." I stepped closer, gently taking her hand again. She didn't resist. Instead, she leaned her forehead against my shoulder, her breath shaky. "I forgot what it felt like to be close to someone," she said. "I forgot what it felt like to matter." "You matter," I said firmly. "You mattered the moment I saw you." She looked up sharply, surprised by the intensity in my voice. Her eyes filled again, but this time not with grief, something warmer, deeper. "You're not saying that just to make me feel better?" she asked. "I'm saying it because it's real." She stared at me for a long, silent moment, then whispered, "I believe you." We reached my car and I opened the door for her. She paused before getting in. "Would it be okay if I held your hand again during the ride?" she asked with a shy smile. "It would be more than okay," I said. She slipped into the seat and I got in on my side. As soon as I buckled in, she reached across the console and intertwined her fingers with mine again, slowly, carefully, like it meant something. Halfway home, she whispered, "It feels nice not being alone." "You're not," I said softly, "not tonight." "Will I see you again after tonight?" she asked, voice trembling with hope she was afraid to show. "You can see me any time you want," I said without hesitation. She brought our joined hands to her chest and held them there, right above her heart. "I think," she whispered, "that meeting you was the first good thing to happen to me in a long, long time." We drove the rest of the way in warm silence, her hand never once letting go of mine, the space between us alive with something gentle and growing. When I parked in front of her building, she didn't move immediately. "Do you?" she began softly. "Could you walk me inside?" "Of course." I helped her out, but she stayed close, too close to be accidental. When we reached her door, she turned to me, her cheeks softly flushed. "Thank you," she said, "not just for tonight, for seeing me, really seeing me." "I'm glad I did," I whispered. She hesitated, her breath unsteady. Then she leaned forward and rested her forehead lightly against my chest again, her fingers gently gripping my shirt. "Would you," she whispered, "would you stay for a little while, just so I don't feel alone tonight?" I rested my hand on her back, steady and warm. "I'll stay," I said, "as long as you need." And for the first time in 2 years, she smiled without pain.